You started TRT to conquer your fatigue, your brain fog, to get back to your superhero self. But instead, now you're feeling anxious, your heart's pounding, you're up all night, you're puffy, and you feel worse than you were before. What could have gone wrong? And more importantly, how do you fix it? My name's Dr. Terranella, and I'm here to help you optimize and improve your health. Today, we're troubleshooting these exact TRT roadblocks, and I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide to help you figure out why you feel worse on TRT if you do, what those symptoms might be telling you about what you should do, and the first and second critical action steps you need to take to get you back on track. Okay, so let's cut straight to the most critical diagnostic question that you can ask yourself. Are you wired or are you just plain tired? This one distinction is key to unlocking this puzzle. If you feel anxious, overstimulated, you can't sleep, your heart's racing, you're getting heart palpitations, but you're exhausted from it all, that's a classic sign of too much testosterone. On the other hand, if you're just feeling tired and fatigued the same way you've always felt, lack of drive, just kind of slugging through things with no sign, no signal that you're overstimulated, etc., that's more of an indication of too low of testosterone. Differentiating these two things is the first step. It is fixing the right problem, is knowing what problem you have. Navigating and troubleshooting these things is the core for successful TRT treatment. And I break down these scenarios and different things that are going on in much more detail in my ebook, TRT Mastery. It's a complete guide to optimizing some of the things that go wrong with testosterone replacement therapy. There'll be a link in the description if you want to check that out. All right, let's jump into this troubleshooting guide. We're going to break this down into a systematic approach. So phase one, what you want to do is identify your symptom profile. What's your worse? Like, what are you calling worse? And again, we want to kind of categorize these. This points us to what the likely cause is. So category A, we can call adrenergic overstimulation. This is that wired but tired kind of feeling. Your nervous system is on overdrive. This is almost always an indication that your testosterone dose is going to be too elevated, too high, creating too much of that adrenergic overstimulation. And in this case, that fatigue that you might be feeling is from poor sleep and the body being constantly on go, go, go. You're not getting enough rest. You're not allowing your body to rest. That problem can also be amplified or enhanced by high cortisols or hidden issues that are occurring in your body that we may not be able to necessarily detect on a blood test, but that's coming from that TRT adrenergic stimulation. It pushes your body more on those adrenergic things: dopamine, norepinephrine, adrenaline, etc. Category B symptoms are going to be kind of more estrogen effects. Feeling bloated, maybe swollen is a better word, holding on to water, extra emotional in terms of like feeling like you might want to cry, noticing puffy or sensitive nipples is another indication. This points more in the direction of your dose causing your body to produce more estrogen. Now, your dose of testosterone may be fine. It's just that your body is converting more of that testosterone into estrogen, which can be a problem for some people. Category C symptoms are going to be erectile dysfunction and libido issues. This one's a little bit tricky because it can be caused by a lot of different things. Could be from your testosterone dose being too high because you're anxious and can't get an erection, or maybe your estrogen levels are too high as well. E2 being a little on the low side can also cause issues with erectile dysfunction too. So that's where with the estrogen thing, you may want to lean more on the lab metrics to really help you figure this out. But it's still important to kind of go through the other categories to see if maybe you have a little bit of the overstimulation as well for any of those estrogen side effects. And then the last category we'll discuss would be category D, is where you just really have none of the overstimulation effects. You don't really feel those overload symptoms that I described above, but you're just not feeling any energy, focus, drive, libido. None of the benefits of the testosterone that you expected to get have come about. This is a strong indication that you're still insufficient. Now, one thing to point out about this is that if you notice some improvement in the beginning with those things, but now you're not, I would say that probably doesn't point towards insufficient levels at this point. But it's also where phase 2 comes in, because we're going to verify some of the things that you think you're feeling and experiencing by looking at the lab metrics. So the symptoms help you kind of get a theory for what you might be thinking is going on, and then you back that up with some labs to help confirm it. But when you test is actually critical, and this is where a lot of people fall into problems and have mistakes. And so if you suspect that you're having too much testosterone, anxiety, palpitations, things like that, you need to understand where your peak testosterone levels are. That's the mid-cycle exposure, not just your trough levels. Trough level is the level taken right before you do your injection, like doing your blood and then doing your injection later that day would be the trough level. And so it's only showing you the very lowest level. And some people can have vastly wide swings between their peak and their trough. And the overload symptoms are typically going to come about more so from the peak, not the trough. So 1 to 2 days after your injection is going to be the peak, or sometimes we'll go a little bit further on day 3 to 5 to understand what that adrenergic signal is doing to your body. You really want to get a nuanced understanding of what's happening throughout the entire cycle. So sometimes you'll do multiple tests to fully understand that. So moving on, if you suspect too little testosterone here, sometimes the trough levels can actually be useful. Not necessarily just if you suspect too little, but if you suspect too much too. If it's still very low before your next shot, like right before your next shot, it could be a strong clue that you're still not getting enough. But how you define too low can be a little bit tricky too. And so many people will be just as low, if not lower, at their trough levels. And that's probably a good indication that it's a little bit too low. More importantly, I think if it's still quite low or really hasn't gone up from what your pre-treatment testosterone levels are at the peak 2 days, 3 days after your injection, that's more of a strong indication that your levels are just too low. And the key labs that we want to be checking at these different time intervals are testosterone total and free, the estradiol, mass spec liquid chromatography. Sometimes a sex hormone binding globulin would be interesting to see here. Hematocrit's always good to keep an eye on as well. So the third phase is basically going to be the action plan, how we're going to go about making changes and monitoring that. And keep in mind that this phase should always be done in a partnership with your doctor. You don't want to just be changing everything that your doctor is thinking you're taking and you're doing something entirely different. They're the one prescribing the medicine, so it needs to make sense to them as well. So if you're having those overload symptoms, or you think you might, and the labs seem to suggest this, the most logical step then is a dose reduction. And here we want to do a slight reduction. So think maybe 10 to 20% can often be enough to calm down that overstimulation, lower the estrogen conversion without losing the main benefits of the testosterone, the reason you went on it to begin with. If we're feeling like it's still too low, you're still kind of more tired and having issues that way, and your peak to trough levels kind of confirm this, then the logical next step would be a cautious dose increase. What does that mean? Same thing, maybe 10 to 20% higher than where you're currently at. If your issues are more with erectile dysfunction and libido, it's a little more nuanced, so it's entirely dependent on how high your estrogen levels are and also what's going on with the two things discussed above. And then the fourth phase, which is probably the most important but often overlooked and misunderstood, is after any dose adjustment, whether it's up or down, you do have to wait a period of time to really see the full benefits or the full effects of that. It takes time for your body to reach a new steady state and to stabilize on that. For injectables, that can typically be around 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes even longer, but I think 4 to 6 weeks is reasonable. Retesting sooner gives you data that may lead to bad decisions. Even worse is going off of how you feel. You don't feel any better, so now I'm going to change it again. And so the symptom improvement has its own timeline. Adrenergic stimulation like anxiety and heart palpitations, things like that, are going to calm down fairly quickly, like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Estrogen-related issues may take longer. So you do have to give it time for changing things week to week. We never really get a full understanding of what the best dose is. You end up in a loop of don't feel good, need to change my dose, don't feel good. You're going back and forth, up, down, up, down. So this troubleshooting process is key to long-term success if you feel like you're having problems. And my ebook, TRT Mastery, covers these scenarios in more detail. And there's a link in the description if you want to check that out. The bottom line is if you're feeling worse on TRT, listen to your symptoms. Wired and tired or puffy likely means that your dose is too high. Just plain tired and you never really felt better, you never really got that boost that you're looking for, could be that your levels are still a bit too low. You want to identify the issue, test strategically, and work with your doctor on strategic dosing changes and adjust as you go. But before you can start to troubleshoot, you do need to be kind of an expert on recognizing all the signs and symptoms that your body might be sending you. So what exactly are the definitive signs and symptoms of too much testosterone? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I cover that in this video right here.